Hi there, everyone. Welcome to my next review for books that I read during 2019. And this one I wanted to talk about a different author than Annabeth Albert, as I've done in the previous several videos. But this was actually an author that I had read her um, first book of this series, and it actually became one of my favorites. And this one is Cronin's Key 2 by N.R. Walker. And this one follows almost directly on the heels of Cronin's Key 1. And it follows Alec McCade, who just got done with fighting off a vampire woman who basically took on the appearance of an Egyptian god or so. Her name was Coquette. And she basically wanted to resurrect Ra. And there was a lot going on right at the end of that book. And this follows his growing relationship with the vampire named Cronin. Now, the big thing that was kind of brought up at the end of Cronin's Key 1 was that when Cronin tried to turn Alec, it didn't work. And normally, when a vampire bites someone, at least in this universe, they either turn or they die. And Alec didn't do either one. No matter how many times Cronin bit him, he never turned. And in this one, it literally goes from 0 to 60 from like page 1. There's very little time to breathe. And I honestly got a little lost at times because the plot is very much like a freight train. Because not only do you have this whole mystery of why Alec doesn't turn when Cronin bites him, because they've made it kind of part of their ritual in the bedroom that Cronin bites him. But Cronin is starting to actually be affected by this. Basically, he almost becomes a little bit of a conduit. If he touches another vampire, he can actually borrow their talent. Now, normally vampires have only one talent. For Cronin, he can do what's called quantum leaping. Basically, he can teleport. Their friend Jodis can freeze things, and their friend E.G. has the ability to look into a person's DNA both directions, either in the past or in the future. And when Cronin touches them, he can actually do these abilities. And that's kind of strange. But this one is interesting because it deals with, I believe it's called the Imperial Terracotta Army in China. And I had known a little bit about the Terracotta Army, but I didn't know as much. So this book was quite entertaining with that. Again, the biggest problem I have with this particular series is there is a lot of info dumping, but it makes sense why there's info dumping. Normally I don't like it. The one thing that was really like very unnerving is I don't remember his name, but there is a vampire that's mentioned. He is a little child, and he's just the creepiest little thing ever. Every vampire just avoids him like the plague. Because normally child vampires are very rare, and it's actually against their laws to turn a child. But he's like 8, and oh my god. First time I heard the audio with Joel Leslie, oh, I was so freaked out. I'm like, how about we hop aboard the Nope train? Fuck that shitville. Oh, I was so freaked out by this. You find out later that he actually is not crazy. In reality, he's actually like foretelling a lot more than just the future. And I don't remember exactly what his real ability is, but they do kind of have a revelation. My one problem with this is actually like towards the end, because basically the reason that Alec couldn't be turned was because his mother, get this, had when she was, I think when she was pregnant with him, had been like attacked or something. Again, freight train, could not follow exactly what was going on. But basically, he was already half vampire when he was born. And that's why he couldn't be turned. They basically had to kill him first, and then finish it off before he could actually be turned properly. And when he's actually turned and he is actually a vampire, his talent is everything. And like when I heard that, I was like, that's really OP. That is so overpowered. Why is he overpowered? And I'm like, and it was hilarious because like the last chapter dealt with him and Jodis and Cronin and E.G., them all trying to figure out ways to mark down what new abilities Alec's getting and help him to block off certain ones, such as reading minds, because there's nothing more intrusive than reading the mind of your lover or your friends. So he had to learn to block a lot of that out, and then every time a new one surfaced, they had to plot it down and figure out how to work it. And it's actually what kind of has kept me from reading Cronin's Key 3, because it's like, well, when you've already hit that high level of power, where do you go? Where do you go from here? So I'm like, I don't know. I'm so hesitant to read the third one, because while I loved 1 and 2, I don't know if I can handle where it's going to go from here. I know that book 4 is actually Kennard's story, and Kennard is a guy you meet at like toward the tail end of 1, and then you get to see him again during 2. And he's really hilarious, but I'm like, I don't know if I can handle reading 3 and then 4 with this kind of shit going on. But I might persevere because I do enjoy N.R. Walker's writing, so I might just continue it and just bite the bullet. Well, those are my thoughts on N.R. Walker's Cronin's Key 2. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!